You know, I've been sitting at my computer for about 20 minutes trying to figure out how I'm even going to start this video, but nothing could have prepared me for the amount of pain and disappointment I would experience with this absolute disaster of recycled code and ideas that are masquerading as a new Tony Hawk game. I never wanted to make a video like this. I know every YouTuber under the sun has said that, but it's the only way I can actually explain the title and content of this video that you're about to watch. I wanted this game to be amazing. I wanted to relive my nostalgia in a new way, and I wanted to love and cherish this game in every way I possibly could. But that's just not happening in this video. I can't keep lying to myself. This game fucking sucks. This remake, and I'm putting remake in heavy quotation marks here, is one of the most frustrating, half-baked, rushed, and piss-poor attempts at making a remake of all time. I am not joking when I tell you that I am genuinely baffled by this game and everything it tries to do. If you want my too long, don't care about your video purposey explanation, then I'll give you this. Do not buy this game. Do not pay $50 for this slop or $70 for the deluxe edition. If you value the hard work of real artists and hate AI slop bullshit, do not buy this game. This game is full of AI-generated slop that'll make you want a credit card yourself. If you love Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 and want to relive the game in its original glory, you won't get that here. So do not buy this game. And lastly, if you want an improved version of Tony Hawk 3, 4, or hell, even the 1+2 remake, you will not get that here. So I say once more, do not buy this game. For all of you who are still here, thank you. Now let me explain myself on why this game is absolute trash for God knows how long. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 are absolute masterpieces that need no introduction, and if you haven't played these games yet, then I highly recommend that you do so before you start this video. You don't even need to 100% these games, just play them for no joke 10 minutes and you'll understand why this game falls flat on its face and is an absolute disgrace to be called a remake. Get ready, because I'm going full-on autistic hyperfixation mode on this game while bringing out my almost 18 years of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater knowledge to tell you and get you to understand why this game is absolute trash. Hell, for a lot of the points I'm gonna make, you don't even need Tony Hawk knowledge, you just need basic understanding of how video games should work to fully understand how terrible this game is. Okay, let's start before the game is even released. In February, a mysterious countdown appeared on the official Tony Hawk website. Ooh, boy, what could this be, said everyone. Could it be 3+4? Of course it was. What else would it be? The trailer drops on March 4th and everyone gets hyped. Pre-orders open up. The return of the king, we were all thinking. But wait a second. Who's developing this game? It can't be Vicarious Visions because Bobby Shitdick merged them into Blizzard to add more breast milk supply to the company. So who's making this game? Did Neversoft come back from the grave? Well, no, because this is Activision. Where all fun goes to die. But that's alright, that's all good. We don't need Vicarious Visions to make this game. You know, the only studio left that actually knew what they were doing. Instead, we got Iron Galaxy. Now, what is an Iron Galaxy, and what kind of games have they made? They must have some bangers under their belt if they're able to work on a franchise as prestigious as Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, right? Well, in order of release, these are the AAA bangers they've made. You're gonna want to sit down for this one. Racketeer, an Angry Birds knockoff for the Kinect. Dive Kick, a game that I've actually never played myself, but I've heard is actually pretty good. So far we are 1 for 2 right now. Their next game was Killer Instinct. No, silly, not that one. Yeah, that one. They also technically didn't even develop this game at all. The first season was developed by Double Helix Games, which, they don't exist anymore. So Iron Galaxy just picked up where they left off after Double Helix was doing that whole dying thing. Their next game was called Extinction, which is a really fitting title because nobody has ever heard of this game before. And then in 2022, they would release their magnum opus, a game that everybody agreed was their best title yet. Rumbleverse, a game so good that Iron Galaxy and the publisher Epic Games said, you know dog, this game is like pretty good and all, but like, we're not making any money off this game, so fuck it, and shut the game down exactly 1 year later. So far we have Kinect Shovelware, an actual good game, a game they didn't even develop, a game that everyone agreed was mid or bad, and a game that was so good it didn't make any money and was banished into the gaming shadow realm forever. But that's all fine and well, most people said, huffing their copium. Maybe Iron Galaxy can make this game be their breakout hit and redefine the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater franchise in the process. Oh wait, what's that? Forced Career Mode is being changed to the classic 2-minute timer, and the soundtrack is completely different, and they're removing all the edgy jokes, and Chicago and Carnival are being cut, and they're putting in new maps in replacement for the maps they cut for no reason? Oh. Oh, what the fuck?
I go by the name of Lupe, Fiasco.
Okay, so it can't all be doom and gloom, right? Oh wait, they added the Doom Guide of a Digital Deluxe Edition. Okay, so it can't all be gloom, right? Well, let's launch this game and get hyped, as the marketing will tell you. But before we can even start the game, we need you to sign a 3-part license agreement, because you don't actually own this game, and Activision is going to take all your information and give it to Tony Hawk himself, so he can sell it and take his fourth wife out to dinner. But fine, let's just sign this, and now let's start with Creative Skater. God damn it. This is the exact same Creative Skater as 1+2, with 0 changes at all. You still have the same clothing options with very limited hairstyles and face options to choose from. You still can't rename your skater or resize anything on their body, not to mention there's still no glasses options either. You'd think with the 5-year gap that these two releases have between each other that they would add more options to the character customization, but no. To put into perspective how dumb this is, let's look back at the games that this game is trying to remake and see what they did. In Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, which was released almost 25 years ago by the way, you could rename your skater at any time, choose from a nice list of glasses and even backpacks. You could also change their height and weight to make the skater of your dreams. Sure, the hair and face options were a bit limited, but just a year later in Tony Hawk 4 they added tons of new hairstyles, glasses, wristwear, and face options. It was an amazing upgrade to the already pretty serviceable Creative Skater from the last game. But even after all these great improvements, Neversoft went the extra mile to completely revamp the simple height and weight system from the last game to be a complete body scaling system where you could change almost anything about your character. And remember, this was all in 1 year of development time back in the PS2 era. In 1 year we had all of these great improvements to just one singular part of the game, but in 5 years we have the exact same recycled system from the last one. Talk about a letdown. But whatever, let's just be a good little consumer and ignore that for now. It's better than it not being in the game at all, right? Let's start with the Pro Skater 3 career. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 is my favorite game of all time, and the only other game that comes close to its spot is, spoiler alert, another skateboarding game with a 3 in the title. So I sit here before you to tell you that the Tony Hawk 3 side of the game is mostly okay, but also very bad at the same time. I first want to start out by saying that the level design and goals are mostly intact, except for a couple of very minor, not a big deal, huge issues that I will talk about later. But Tony Hawk 3 career in this game is pretty fun on a first playthrough. When I first loaded into Foundry and started skating, it was genuinely really fun and exciting, and I can say with confidence that experience stayed with me for most of my first playthrough. There's NPCs walking around the map saying dumb shit like the original game, the cutscenes are back that are nearly 1-to-1 remakes of the originals, and most importantly, the skating feels great just like how it did in the last remake. Sure, it doesn't feel like Neversoft's Tony Hawk, as some people would say, but in my opinion, it still feels like Tony Hawk, and it's what made me suffer through the other half of this game for 25 hours. But I'm still not oblivious to the fact that this part of the game just feels off. Like, where's the pissing guy in Canada that you could knock off the ledge? Why did they change the car chase in LA from a van shooting at cops to a rogue smart car? And why can't any of the cars hit you anymore? The ice cream truck in Suburbia used to run you over, but now it just stops for you. But whatever, I'm going off topic. I'm sure it's nothing. Let's just continue with the Tony Hawk 3 career. Alright, I just completed Tokyo and I'm ready for the cruise ship. Damn, this level looks beautiful. They even got Captain Jennings on the mic. Hell yeah, let's go. Wait a minute. Why are we impressing the skaters? We just did that in Canada like 20 minutes ago. Wait, where the hell are the Neversoft girls? Why do I have to find a toolbox for the guy fixing the ferry instead of just simply wall riding it? Also, what is this stunt gauntlet we have to complete instead of trashing the museum? Oh yeah, I forgot, this game isn't actually a remake at all. Why did you completely change 4's career and somehow made a masterpiece a generic slogfest? Why is there no custom restarts, replays, shuffle bonuses, or text chat? Why are there only 10 songs from the original games in this remake instead of them all? You're telling me you got Goldfinger, Less Than Jake, and Zebrahead in the last remake, but you couldn't get them in this game? Why did these cutscenes look like a middle schooler made them in Blender for the first time? Why is there a spacewalk in the game, but it's locked behind the Digital Deluxe Edition and doesn't even speed you up? And why is Zoo a comp level? Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 has been butchered and disfigured beyond recognition in this remake. Now, I'm sure most of you watching this video know this, so instead of telling you it's trash and moving on, I'm going to explain to you in as much detail as my gay little heart can possibly handle to get you to fully understand why this game is garbage. First up, the elephant in the room. That don't actually exist in the game, but I'll get to that later. The goal structure was changed entirely to the classic 2-minute timer goals of the first 3 games. Now personally, I love this structure the most out of all the other games that the franchise has. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, 2, and 3 are all masterpieces to me because of this. The level design complements the style perfectly, and each level was carefully crafted to complement the structure well. Not to say that the other games are bad, far from it in fact. Tony Hawk 4 through American Wasteland are incredible, but the difference between Tony Hawk 3 and 4 is their goal structure and gameplay formula. In Tony Hawk 1, 2, and 3, the gameplay formula is this. You load into into a level, look at the goals you need to do as many goals as you can in 2 minutes, end the run, move to the next level, bada bing, bada boom, you're playing Tony Hawk. In Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, the goal structure was changed to be more of a pseudo-open world design where you can choose what goals you want to do and play the game at your own pace. I'm gonna let one of my favorite YouTube videos of all time, and one of the videos that inspired me to become a YouTuber, explain to you how this system works in simple detail.
Here's how you do it in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. You see a guy, you talk to him, immediately the mission starts. You see a guy, you talk to him, immediately the mission starts. You see a guy, you talk to him, immediately the mission starts. Or hell, go to the menu, select the mission, and bam, it immediately starts.
You see how good of a system that is? It's very simple, but it works with Pro Skater 4's level design perfectly. Pro Skater 4's level design is much more open with a lot of flat and wide areas so the NPCs around the world can give you the goals you need to do. Each level was designed carefully so each uniquely designed goal would fit into the world perfectly. But with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4, all these carefully crafted levels and uniquely designed goals are thrown out and desecrated on by the 2-minute timer format. All the carefully crafted goals that fit into the world, gone. All the personality, gone. All the terrible yet amazing Pro Skater voice acting.
Yo, you think you can beat my best 3 combos in a row? Man, you can't even front on that one, kid. Best go home to preschool.
Gone. Now, I don't think I need to explain or tell you why this is an absolutely terrible game design decision to change one formula to another. How does that work? Here's the thing. It doesn't. As I've said before, Tony Hawk 3 and 4 are very different games compared to one another via their gameplay formulas. Tony Hawk 3 is a 2-minute timer-based goal game, while Tony Hawk 4 is a goal-based game with timer elements. So when you combine the elements of Tony Hawk 3, a game whose levels were designed to complement its gameplay formula perfectly, with the levels of Tony Hawk 4, a game whose levels were designed for a completely different type of gameplay style, you get a total clusterfuck of game design elements that can't work with each other in any way possible. It's like mixing Pepsi and milk together. Technically, it's edible. On paper, it sounds like it could work, but that doesn't mean it's gonna taste good.
You know what?
Adding skate letters and 7 banners to tear down in college all in one run can't work together because that's not what the original level designers intended for players to do in their game. But perhaps the remake devs realized this, because in the options menu they added the ability to change the timer to up to an hour. You heard me correctly, the developers were so insecure and not confident enough about their changes to the formula that they added a fucking band-aid fix to the game to try and get it to work. But it doesn't fucking work. The 2-minute time format and goal structure is still here, and just because you added a longer timer doesn't mean you fix the formula at all. It just proves to me that you don't understand anything about Tony Hawk games and you're trying as desperately as possible to relate to them. And to add even more insult to injury to this terrible design choice, the developers decided it would be a great idea to add even more goals to these levels once you complete all the base ones in the game. Let me say this one more time. Iron Galaxy thought it was a great idea to add even more goals to the Tony Hawk 3 and 4 levels, not realizing that the levels from 4 are already way too big to even add classic goal formats in the first place, in turn, making this hour timer basically mandatory for the game to work. And these new goals aren't even good either. It's always the same shit of collect combo letters, do a trick over a gap, or do the same goddamn repetitive impress the skaters goal they reuse 6 times throughout the pro goals. I'm not kidding, they reuse this shit a total of 6 times throughout the game. For the love of God, Iron Galaxy, do something creative. Every level in the original had so much creativity and personality that's been removed in this remake. The pimps in London, gone. Knocking tourists into the water in Alcatraz, gone. The zoo, don't even get me started on the zoo. What was one of the most unique levels in the original that was filled with so much personality, like animals you can see all over the map, elephants that you can see and scare to open new areas, lions that can try and kill you, and monkeys that fling shit at you are all gone. The zoo has been turned into one of the most generic maps in the entire series because there's absolutely nothing special going on here anymore. Seeing this remake do this is honestly just very... Oh, thanks, Windows, I appreciate you. Seeing the remake do this is honestly just very belittling towards the original game. Like, their game wasn't good enough to be remade properly, but they had to do it because, hey, the last remake included 2 games, so fine, here you go, this is what you asked for, right? No, this isn't what we asked for. We wanted the original Pro Skater 4 to be shown in all of its glory, but these devs don't give a single fuck about Pro Skater 4. They didn't just remove the goal structure, they also removed 2 of the levels, removed anything that could have been considered edgy, sanitized the hell out of everything as to not offend anyone, and made new levels that are okay, might I add, but still don't fit the game because these levels weren't designed with Pro Skater 4 in mind either. Kurt Tillmans, you knockoff AI-generated Tom Morello-looking motherfucker, can you please explain to me what creative choices went into making this game, because I genuinely don't know what the hell is going on anymore. But it also doesn't seem like Kurt and the gang over at Iron Galaxy know either. Here's prominent member of the Tony Hawk community, Andy THPS, in an interview with Kurt himself.
Is there any plans for any sort of duration of like live op support for like quality of life fixes and like fixing bugs or exploits, like post-release? Is there going to be further development on the game?
We haven't talked about anything post-release yet.
Can you comment on New Game Plus or Game Plus mode, whatever it is called?
What's that?
Is it like a new set of goals after you complete the first set of goals?
It's an interesting idea.
Like, could you answer what is Hawk mode? Like, or is that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, really? Okay.
Very cool, Kurt. Please stick to making Dora the Explorer games. But even after all these brain-dead game design decisions, after all this shitting in my face and trying to exploit my nostalgia for money, this isn't even the worst thing this game tries to pull on us. This game tries to pull something that doesn't just piss on the legacy of two beloved games. It pulls something that pisses on the legacy of art and creativity as a whole. I'm of course talking about... Something about these deck graphics feel off. This graffiti doesn't make any sense. This zombie looks like shit. This astronaut looks like shit. This zombie hand looks like shit. Hey, wait a minute, Burbussy. Yeah, brother, what's up? Zoom in for me on this image. Oh my god. Does that say pest and grind? Does that grip tape say fucking Wellum? And in the name of Steven Stone's beautiful twink body, did ChatGPT just poop all over a pinball machine? This map looks so bad. Why? And I'm genuinely asking, why did they ship this map in the game? The people who put this in the game should be fucking embarrassed to have this slop in a product that people are paying money for. If you buy this game for $50 or God forbid $70, you are paying for actual slop. You are paying to be shat on in your face, and these fucking troglodytes at Iron Galaxy and especially Activision will laugh in your face and continue to take your money. And I absolutely love the audacity these devs went to try and hide this fact. Here's AI-generated Tom Morello straight up lying to your fucking face.
Our concept artist who drew out the board for the pinball machine, he is actually a pinball machine collector. He was very passionate about making sure that not only did this look cool and play cool as a Tony Hawk level, but it actually made sense as a pinball machine.
Okay, Tommy Mello, if this is the case, show us the concept art. Show us the person who made it. Give me their name and face because I would absolutely love to talk to them. If this definitely not fake and real person you just pulled out of your ass can show their face, then I would absolutely love to ask them why their map looks like shit. Why every spot in the map looks like they typed the word zombie into ChatGPT and it pooped all this out. And I would also love to ask them, why? But I feel like I can get an answer somehow. There has to be some way I can get an answer for if they used AI art in this game or not. But wait a second, in the credits they list a company by the name of Art Bully Productions that seemingly did all the art for the game. So I decided to email this company and asked if they use AI to make the images in the game. Surely if they didn't use AI they would want to explain themselves, right? So I emailed them on July 17th asking for a comment, and as I'm writing this part of the script it is currently August 4th, and as I am recording it is August 7th and I still have not gotten a reply. I don't think that they're getting back to me anytime soon, guys. Oh wait, never mind, the Steam page itself just says straight up, yeah, we used AI in this game. But wait a second, that wasn't there before. In fact, I know that wasn't there before because here's a screenshot of what the Steam page looked like on July 11th, and here's what it looks like right now. Thanks Valve for making it mandatory for game devs to put an AI disclosure in their game. You caught Iron Galaxy with their pants down. Now for those of you wondering why I'm so angry at some pixels on a screen, let me explain to you why I'm so angry and passionate about this. Art and creativity is something that I will stand for until the day that I die. Without art, I would not be the person who I am today, and everyone who sees AI slop in not just video games, but any product as a whole should feel insulted. Every video game, piece of music, story, and or drawing you've ever seen is an expression of ideas and personal experience that someone has dealt with in their life. Even this video you're watching right now is art. Sure, it may be art made by an insane person whose fixation is a game franchise that came out almost 26 years ago, but I'm perfectly normal. Even me. I'm art. All the art you see of my Sona and my thumbnails and videos was drawn by my very talented friend, Don Dev Red. He's been making art for years now that channels his personal experiences and interests in life. Like, look at this Doom art he made. Absolute cinema, as the kids would say. Without him, this channel wouldn't even be possible, so Thank you. But fuck it, you know, maybe instead of paying my friend to make wonderful art for my channel so he can feed his family, instead I should just use AI to shit out some art in 5 seconds. Let's go to the best site for art in 2025, DeviantArt. Okay, ignoring all the inflation porn, and wow, look at all these incredible results I got. They're so good they don't even follow the prompt I wrote. Wow, look, it even made some pixel art. It's so good it doesn't even follow the basic rules of pixel art. Okay, I think I need to calm down now. And what better way to calm down than by drawing some beautiful art of my own. It's absolutely beautiful. Wait, what were we talking about again?
I used to listen to the cops broke it up. I always thought to myself, damn, why they fucked it up?
In conclusion, I hate this game if you couldn't tell already. I feel like the most confusing part of this game to me is one of the simplest questions someone could ask. Who was this game even made for? It wasn't made for fans of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater because it just shits on the legacy of all those games. It can't be for fans of video games as a whole because fans of video games actually care about their artistic value as a medium. And it's definitely not for fans of skateboarding because just look at it. Even if we were to ignore all the points I've set up to this point in the video, the game still sucks. Power slides barely work. If you don't have a trick you need to complete a goal with, you have to end your run just to change it instead of the game dynamically changing a trick for you. Spine transfers barely work at all either. You can do 2 double tap tricks in a row really fast and the game only plays 1 animation. The new soundtrack is god-awful, and the worst crime of all, the game is just so goddamn boring. Do you remember back at the beginning of the video when I kept saying I enjoyed my first playthrough? That wasn't a typo or a stutter that I keep in one of my videos because I'm terrible at speaking and I think it's funny. No, that was genuine. After completing Tony Hawk 3's career, I moved on to 4 and it was just the most boring experience I've had in this year of gaming so far. It just wasn't fun. I was doing a solo tour career of Rodney Mullen in Pro Skater 3 and I was bored halfway through. This game somehow made Pro Skater 3 boring. Maybe they shouldn't have added new shitty goals to Pro Skater 3's levels, or maybe they should have just kept Pro Skater 4 the way it was because why the fuck would you change that? And besides all the AI slop, I feel like this is the biggest reason why no one should play this game at all.
If it's not fun, why bother?
We shouldn't bother with something that's boring. We shouldn't bother with the bare minimum. We shouldn't bother with AI slop. We shouldn't bother with a remake that removes content in a game that claims to be a faithful recreation. And we shouldn't bother with anything made by these hacks. Now usually this is the part of the video where I would say, well, this game sucks, Activision is to blame, my name is Burbussy, blah 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 blah. But I'm not going to do that this time. While yes, Activision is a absolutely terrible company that no one should like, everyone already knows that. What else is there to say? But what about Iron Galaxy? What can they say about themselves? They're the ones that developed the game after all. In fact, speaking of developers, I wonder how they got such talented devs for their games in the first place.
Yeah, and wait. Yeah, to wrap it up, I was gonna say Iron Galaxy does a really good job of giving people a chance. So apply with this. If you don't have experience, a lot of us came with no actual formal experience.
Yep, that checks out. Anywho, I think I've rambled on long enough about a skateboarding video game, so my final thought is this. Please do not buy this game. Instead, play Rethought. Seriously, go play Rethought. In this AAA game made by a multi-billion-dollar corporation, you can't even wear glasses, but in a game made by a small group of devs, you can wear glasses, wear backpacks, play almost every level from every game made by Neversoft, scale your character to make any abomination you can think of, change the physics in any of the Tony Hawk games, change the HUD to any of the Tony Hawk games, import custom soundtracks, import custom deck graphics so you can commission your friend to make one for you so he can feed their family, play various amounts of online game modes with your friends and family, import custom characters, earn achievements, and play as almost every character ever featured in any Tony Hawk game all combined into one package. But Burbus, I can play as Doomguy if I spend an extra 20 quid. You can do that in Rethought for free. And play as all the Ninja Turtles, not just Michelangelo. If you want to play a game that actually cares about the legacy of these older games, then you can download Rethought for free right now and get a much better experience than whatever the fuck 3+4 is. So please, support the people who actually know what they're doing and go play Rethought. You will not be disappointed. But Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 will disappoint you. Do not buy this game under any circumstances. It's not worth $50, $70, or whatever the sale price will be once Activision realizes this game was a failure and will try giving it out for basically free. Use that money for something that is much more worthy and valuable of your time. Buy anything that is not this game. Buy Ready or Not, buy Palworld, buy Deltarune, hell, buy 5 copies of Fallout New Vegas to give to your friends. Literally anything. And yes, you can even buy Big Rigs on Steam. I'm giving you my permission, but just this once. If you also want to buy another skateboarding game, you can also check out Cheapskate. It's a skateboarding game developed by ex-Neversoft employees, so it's the closest thing we'll ever get to another Tony Hawk game. Well, not really, but you know. Please check it out. Support these old Neversoft devs. The game is only $5 for a reason. Go on, buy it. I know you're looking at it on the Steam page right now. Just do it. Or fuck it, just donate that money to me. Support me on my Ko-fi page so I can keep making these videos. But even if you can't donate or even just plain don't want to, sharing my videos and doing what the old YouTube algorithm likes is good enough for me. The support I've received on these videos has been amazing, and I can't thank you all enough for it. I was even in Jack's Films weekly newsletter about up-and-coming creators, so thanks, Jack. Once again, thank you all so much for your support. It means the world to me. But it's currently 2 a.m. when I'm writing this part of the script, and I need to get some sleep right now, otherwise I'll look like that one guy from the San Francisco cutscene. So with all this being said, my name is Burbus, and thank you for watching.